This is Early Late Nights, the show that sometimes needs to record its intro twice. On tonight's show, we have plenty of news to jump into, plenty of things to see and to chat about, and for me to rant about in many places. We will be going through the PS Plus and Games for Gold for April. We will be talking about all things to do with the Overwatch Uprising event, and we'll also be discussing No Man's Sky on Xbox and its future release, as well as me having a bit of a rant in our tidbit about why games can't just be games anymore, along with our gamer spotlight of the week. But let's jump right into topic number one. Xbox and PlayStation both announcing their new lineup of shows with... Not shows. Why am I thinking shows? Kieran, are you okay today? It's Good Friday. There's been some good stuff. Charity. It's a Good Friday appeal. Support that. It's just, back it up, people. Back it up. Both Xbox and PlayStation have announced their Gamer Spotlight for this coming April. And I'm quite excited about it. If you haven't already checked it out, the games announced for Xbox have been Assassin's Creed and The Witness. And for PlayStation, for the PS4, they've announced Mad Max. And they have also announced Trackmania. Both of them are really strong. And we've had a couple of strong months now of games coming to these platforms, part of their free gaming subscriptions. Because a lot of it is... We're getting to that point in our consoles' life cycles where there's been several years to draw from now. Mad Max was a fantastic game. If you hadn't checked it out, it was a fantastic for open world... At a time when there was lots of open world games that kind of slid through the cracks for many people because it came out against games that were just that little bit bigger. And the gameplay mechanics of that game are fantastic. The driving mechanics and the combat within the cars fits perfectly for the Mad Max world. If you haven't checked out The Witness, I would thoroughly, if you have an Xbox, advise you to check out The Witness. It is one of those weird games that come around every now and then, full of puzzles, full of different bits and pieces that are just kind of crazy and over the top, where we can't really... It's hard to explain The Witness for me, because it's got the crazy kind of puzzles and the mazes, and you have to work out, and there's so many different algorithms, and then the story is one of the stories where you have to kind of piece it together yourself and really figure it out yourself for more information and to dig in to see exactly what's happening. It was one of those eerie games where I was always waiting for something to kind of jump out and attack me when I was playing it, but it's not that sort of game. It is a walking simulator with puzzles, with those little character voice sound bites that come through and tell you a bit more when you find them. It's an interesting game, I'd say, to check out. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate is coming to the Xbox as well. That is the Assassin's Creed game that I think is going to get a lot of love out of this Games for Gold, because it came out at a weird time. It came out at a time where everybody was really, really lukewarm on Assassin's Creed as a franchise, because we'd had so many Assassin's Creeds so constantly, and they were just grating on us. We had that problem with Assassin's Creed Unity, where there was all the bugs, and people weren't enjoying it when it first came out. Black Flag was fantastic before it, and people were just getting a bit worn out on that franchise, a bit over the top. And then Syndicate came out, and by all means, Syndicate was a fantastic game. Had a great location. It's set in London in Victorian ages. Its main characters were cool and interesting. A lot of its set pieces, there was stuff from Charles Dickens and Sherlock Holmes, and that world was full to explore, but people never really got to play it because a lot of people avoided that game because of the problems and the staleness of the series. So I think it's a fantastic time for you to go back in and jump into that game and give it the time it deserves, because it does deserve a bit of time of life, a bit of overall loving and care, because it's just fantastic in many ways, because games like this, and this is what this system, this PS Plus, this Xbox Games with Gold, it's what they want to do, is shine light on games that people have missed. The games that deserve a bit more love and attention, and these games definitely do. Apart from Trackmania, that one's probably the weakest out of the four. I love the Trackmania games on PC when I originally played them, but it's not something I really would love to go back and play. The other three, though, are all fantastic. My pick out of the three is going to be Assassin's Creed Syndicate on Xbox. I think if you're going to put some time in a game they're giving it for free, definitely jump into Syndicate because it is a fantastic game. There is a lot of layers to that game, and it makes up for a lot of problems that, were created for people in Unity, and it gives you, if you're off that high of Assassin's Creed Origins, you still want to jump into an Assassin's Creed game, jump into Syndicate. It's not going to be at the level of Origins, but it's going to be still a fantastic game and a good experience for you. So definitely jump in there if you have a chance. Moving quickly on to No Man's Sky. No Man's Bloody Sky. It's the game that ruined everything for it. No, I didn't ruin everything for it. It was just one of those games that came out and we were so excited for it, so hyped. Sean Murray came out and was talking so much about this game and hyping it up, and he did a Peter Molyneux level of hype for this game. So high, so far pushed up above it that we were all excited. We were all ready. We wanted this game to sail across the stars. It was a multiplayer game. And then it came out and the universe was a bit empty. The multiplayer stuff was proved wrong pretty quickly because two people found themselves on the same planet but couldn't see each other. They found a way, even though it's very improbable that you would run into somebody. So, there, come on. Come on, guys. So they've now announced that it's coming to the Xbox. It was a timed exclusive from 2016 in winter for PlayStation, and now it's finally going to move its way over to the Xbox. Sean Murray's been talking, though, people. Well, not in the same way he talked about it when the game was first released. In the Kotaku article that just came out lately, it is quoted that Sean Murray has said that this game has been hotly requested by Xbox fans. When? What Xbox fan is ridiculous enough to want this game? I've heard good things about this game because they've done a lot of work on this game since it came out. But what fans are wanting this game on Xbox, Sean? I think you're full of shit. I honestly do. But it gets better. It gets better because I want to tell Sean Murray to jog on a little bit. Jog on, Sean Murray. Get the fuck out of here. But he then went on to say, I'd love to avoid talking completely and just make things people can play. What, Sean? What do you mean? All you did in the build-up of the game originally was talk about it and show it to people and hype it up. And you didn't even show people the proper game. It's just... This game could have been something really special, really interesting to dive into, to dig through different worlds and to discover new species. And then it just fell flat on its face. It wasn't finished. It didn't have the content that was promised. It was not a polished product straight away. And that has earned a piece of a bad taste in my mouth, especially with that game, buying that when it first came out and sitting there at midnight on launch trying to play through for like 3 hours, and I was not feeling it. The amount of people that got refunded from that game, it was the biggest, probably the single biggest failure of the PlayStation 4's life cycle is probably No Man's Sky, and it's been swept under the rug pretty quickly because it's not something that's talked about unless the game is brought up for whatever reason. So it's being brought up again with this Xbox release. And if you're an Xbox fan and you want to watch this game, let me know. Tweet at me at your boy Ringo. Tell me in the chat. I'll be checking in just a second. Because for a lot of it, it's just bad. It's just bad, and we need to make games, people, that are instantly what we desire. Not, okay, maybe that's the wrong way to word it. Not instantly what we desire, but what we're being told and what we're being promised. We want that game. We want to see that game. If you're talking about the game like it is the next big thing, make it the next big thing. Don't just talk about it. Actually have the software to back it up. And I'm just... anything that has Sean Murray's name attached to it, I don't care. Because he's just wasted so much of mine and other people's time. So please, let me brew on Sean Murray for a second. And, my God, he is learning from his mistakes. We just had Ashley comment in the stream that he's learning from his mistakes. And that is very true. He has somewhat learnt what it means to be a game dev or the face of a game or a project that's coming out. But it just isn't what it is. It's just a waste of my time. It's a waste of the audience's time Just no more. No more, Sean Murray. Don't talk to me. Don't comment anymore. Don't come back here. Don't show yourself ever again. Because I dislike you. Moving to a much happier topic, a much better topic for me, because I could talk about this topic for the next 20 minutes probably, but I'm not going to. It has been talked about in some classified file movies that have been released over the last couple of days, that the anniversary event is coming back to Overwatch, and this time it's going to be featuring Blackwatch. If you haven't got too much into the lore of Overwatch, Blackwatch is the Spec Ops, like, undercover side of Overwatch that was run by Reyes, who soon became Reaper. Had members like Genji was a part of Blackwatch, McCree was a part of Blackwatch. It had this whole subculture, so it's really nice. It's been rumored for the last month that the up and coming anniversary event might feature Blackwatch a bit more heavily, and I'm happy to see this. It looks like it's going to be released April 10th. The event will be coming to us. And there's going to be all sorts of surprises. They say the anniversary loot box is going to have 100 specific item in the loot box. And the anniversary event is my favorite event of all time. Like, the Uprising event, which is what it's called, is one of my favorite gaming events because it is lore-based. And with Overwatch, sadly, the game itself is fantastic. They're growing, they're changing the game at all the time. They're progressing at good speeds a lot of the time, but it's losing some of that lore now. The last time we really received lore was at BlizzCon 2017 last year with the Glory and Honor, I think the short was called, which was about Reinhardt when he was younger, but the actual current Overwatch story has not been really running, has not really been growing, and we want to see that. We want to really love and admire what we have, because it's not great. It's not great that we don't have the lore growing, because there's so many people that play the game for that side of the game, for these stories, these, the epic tale between two brothers, Hanzo and Genji, and how they fought and how Genji returned. We've got McCree being brought back to life and working for Blackwatch. We have all these different little side stories and main plots, and then they're building them with the cinematics. With the Infiltrator cinematic, they brought to us Sombra and then increased the storyline as well as to what was going on in that world. There was a lot of intrigue there. So I really hope they use the Uprising event to continue to grow the world of Overwatch and to bring us more of that content, to give us more of that fantastic character that we've seen so far throughout the game. It's been, this is the second year of Overwatch. And it's already been a fantastic game. It's got many years left in it. I really hope it, because I love this game with all my heart. And I want to see it grow. But it needs that little something. It needs to continue to find that further progression to the game. So we will see that in the coming couple weeks when the Uprising event begins for us. It's like a wave mission. Like, there's a mission where you're doing a payload against AI, and there's set characters. Last year's was set on King's Row. The rumors are that this one's going to be set in Dorado, which are two different maps in the Overwatch game. So, I know, talking about Overwatch and not really esports, but talking about Overwatch on a Friday is not totally normal for me, but I'm so excited to see this game continue to grow and to see what Jeff Kaplan and the team at Blizzard do to continue the progression on this game, because if you haven't played the game but you want something interesting to watch, I'd advise to go through and watch all the animations and the cinematics for Overwatch. It's like watching Pixar movies. They're so good. They're so well done. There's so much in them that is interesting to pursue. There's so much to crack down. There's Easter eggs. And it tells stories. My favorite is the fact that these stories and animations happen physically in the game, and there are little mementos to them. My favorite is Hanamura. There is little hints of the battle between Genji and Hanzo. There's an arrow that's stuck into the floor, a shuriken stuck into the roof, that is part of that battle and part of that animation. It makes the world really feel lived in, gives it more life, because a lot of these MOBAs and a lot of these games nowadays have amazing lore and story behind them. I read through so much Dota 2 lore when I was playing that game, and I was fascinated by it, but it's not something acted upon. a short little tidbit is that Timbersaw is a character in Dota 2, and he has a mechanism and he cuts down trees and whatever. But his lore, if you read his lore, he literally became Batman for trees. Like, he crafted himself this mech suit so he could destroy trees and like fight trees. If you read, it's an interesting read, but it's something that a normal Dota 2 player wouldn't get. So we're growing and seeing that more and more of these games, and I'm so happy that Blizzard started really well with their first season and their second stage, which is currently going on, of animations. We'll see the growth of those characters and the building of this story, because one of the things I always get questioned on is, okay, so what's Overwatch about? Because there's all these characters with different personalities and backstories, yet when you're playing the game, those backstories and characters don't really matter because they'll all fight on the same team. And it's like, well, it's not... The game isn't entirely about the storyline, but the storyline is important to players. So it's what we see and what we learned with it. And I'm going to take you all on a bit of a rant. But first I'm going to start with a positive about this thing. Because on Tuesday we talked a little bit about Far Cry 5, about its microtransactions and how it would work within it. And I was a bit on the fence, but I still picked up Far Cry and I jumped in. And you may have seen, if you follow me on Twitter, I actually was having quite a lot of fun. I like stealth games where they give you a compound bow and you can just sneak through entire bases, pinging everybody off and killing everybody and moving through. The AI isn't fantastic, but it's still a fun game, and I'm enjoying my time with it so far. I don't know how long that's going to last. It's fixed up some of the problems I had with the previous Far Cry's that I didn't enjoy. So I'm interested to see where this carries on and where this goes. But what I want to talk about with you, ladies and gentlemen, is why can't games just be games anymore? Why can't games just be those little escapes from reality? Why can't we just play a game for a story anymore? Why does a game always have to be a social issue? Because I've already stated this. I stated this on Twitter. I said, please, somebody be outraged about Far Cry 5. I want to talk about it on early late nights. And of course, it has been. But there was this screen that popped up when I first loaded into Far Cry 5. And it was a disclaimer screen. And it was kind of like nothing. It pretty much, in short, in abbreviated form, it said, not abbreviated, I don't know the word. What's the word? It's something. In a paragraph, it pretty much said, the images, actions, and story of this game were not created or built to reflect on anything in real life or any people in real life. And you're kind of like, okay, I see. You knew somebody was going to take offense to this game, or that there was something going to be in it, and you've done the disclaimer, Ubisoft, so that people don't have the right to be angry. There's just, I understand in nowadays society, every movie, TV show, music, games now, they're all a commentary on life. They're all used to spread a message. And we don't need that. Well, in some cases it's nice, but some games I would just like to be the game to have, the game just to be a game. Just something for me to play for fun. Not, something in 2 weeks' time for a president or a governor to come out and, well, people playing this game are going to be psychopaths. And you're just, why? We're not going to be psychopaths. It's a game, we're playing for fun, we're playing for entertainment. Nobody goes and watches a goddamn Kill Bill or Hateful Eight or any Quentin Tarantino movie and instantly goes, I'm gonna go murder fucking everyone. I'm gonna slice limbs off. It's gonna be a bloodbath. No, doesn't happen. Does not happen. Games are in the same place. Even though, you're playing these multiplayer games where you're shooting each other and having, and I was gonna say having fun. That sounds bad. But when you're shooting each other, having fun, playing competitive games, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, people, anymore. Because it's just... Why? Why do everything have to be used as a contextual piece in the world? Why does a movie have to be, Black Panther could have just, it's worked on so many dimensions because it's a great comic book hero movie, but a big part of that movie was that it supported the African American culture and people, and it empowered them so much. And you know what? That had a positive effect on the world. But this game is just a game about a action hero going into a segregated part of America that has been taken over by a religious group. Of course, people who are in the typical American strong religious groups are taking offense to this because they're like, no, we're not like that. You know, especially the Deep South, Texas, around there is taking a lot of offense to this. And just let it be a game, people. Let it be a game. Let me enjoy it. Let your people enjoy these games and have them as a pastime. Let people tell a story. I've never once heard somebody say they have been poorly influenced, a government come out and say this was all the book's fault. This is because our young people are reading too many books. No, that's not the case anymore. It doesn't happen like that, so why does it matter? Why is that a thing that we're dealing with? Please, let me know in chat right now what you think. I'm going to pop on another clip really nice and quickly. Let me know in chat. What do you think? Can games just be games anymore? So Ashley, of course, has commented, sure, games can be games. And I hope that is the truth. I hope games can just be games. I hope that people can just allow us to enjoy games for entertainment and that they don't always have to be some kind of political message or statement. Because there is an innocence to gaming and an innocence to the software and the consoles and the nostalgia we have for growing up with these consoles that it's still in its infancy, and I don't want that to be ruined because people are too worried about its negative impacts, which I think is very minimal compared to the positive impacts it has on everyday lives. If you want to comment further, please tweet at me at your boy Ringo or comment on the show below to really get involved with this topic. Let people know that you play games because games are a passion and you enjoy playing games. And that's why, and because of that love for games is why we're going to move on to the gaming spotlight, which I'm excited because this gaming spotlight we're shining on some people that are very close to our heart here at Explosion Network. They are a fantastic group of guys that work on some great content. I've cut up quickly. I've cut up a piece of their work for you, so check it out.
Well, welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Banter Lab.
Games is kind of like riding a bike. You never forget it, but the part that you don't forget is kind of the pain of falling off over and over and over and injuring your body in horrific ways.
But guys, without further ado, I think that we should jump in. No more hesitation, Sam. Let's get you on that train and get you rolling.
Help me! That's how this one works. I think you're supposed to die to this wolf. Because I definitely can't remember beating it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, alright, we're dead.
Evidently, am much better at this game than I initially let on. Just one death, it's fine.
God damn, I hope you died to that wolf, Ben. Alrighty, talk to this chief. We need our weapons. I like the sword cleaver, that's always a good time. Go the pistol. Alright, might as well just go back to the secret room. Let's hope it took Ben a little longer to figure all that.
Oh, you meant to die. Oh, look, they'll get you in these games. Look, we'll cut cutscenes out. Wait, do I get to choose one from each? Ooh, that's such a creepy thing. Oh man, just having a bath and sells your items. I just had this down inside my bath. God, this is where Sam gets ya, because he knows what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thinking I should have watched that cutscene and got some idea of what I'm meant to do. Oh good, I've used another health thing just in case I needed it. Swear to God, if I have to get a guy to get out of here, that'll be a low point. Yeah, Ben, let's just keep running back to the same spot and check if, things are a bit different. Oh, you can run with that. Okay, here we go. Let's fucking get out of here with this thing.
Yes, indeed, it was Banter Lab, our close friends. That was Sam and Ben from Banter Lab with their new Bloodborne series where they're trying to race each other in Bloodborne. That is, you can currently find the whole of that video on YouTube, on their YouTube channel, which is just Banter Lab. I love their content, and I'm so appreciative as long as Sam knows how to make his webcam work properly. I keep flicking through his... it's just... Sam, you're letting the team down with your webcam, but I love you. I love both those guys. We managed to meet them at RTX Sydney. They're both fantastic and good-hearted people. They are really funny and entertaining on their podcast, Casual Cast. They also have an NRL podcast that's just started up. They're doing some really good Let's Plays and work over on their YouTube as well. So I would love for you and for anybody who's a fan of the Explosion Network, please go over to Banter Lab, check out their stuff. I would love to work with them soon. Hopefully once Sam gets his computer up and running, we'll be playing more Overwatch and playing more PUBG and games like that together. So please go check them out, chuck them the subscribes, get involved in their community because they are a fantastic bunch of boys, and we love them here. And they're all right. And they could probably beat me up. I'm going to say Sam could beat me up. Just look at him. Look at him there. He's just... Look at that war paint. They were also both part of the Overwatch Australian team recently. Both fantastic. Well, not the real Australian team. That's coming up. But maybe they'll try out for World Cup. That could be fun. And thank you very much for joining me on this Friday, this Good Friday edition of Early Late Nights. Remember, we are live every Tuesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/Explosion Network. Please come hang out. I will be checking in chat and discussing with you different points that I discuss in the show live from 6:30 till 7 p.m. But it's okay. If you can't make it live, that's completely understandable. Check out the show every Wednesday and Saturday at 7 p.m. on either our YouTube channel, bit.ly/Explosion Network, or also any good podcasting services. Just search for Early Late Nights and we'll be there. Chuck us a subscribe, a rate, all that good stuff. I would love it. And every show we finish off with the same thing, but new and improved with quieter music. Much quieter music, because I know that's been an issue so far. Please, this is the 60 seconds of media madness. This is the part of the show where I go through the stuff I've missed in the days of news that have been part of the last couple of days, weeks. I can't talk. I've talked for too long, people. Let's get into it. Thank you very much. Have a great Easter. Let's go. Okie dokie, Fortnite for iOS is now available in Australia. You don't need an invite, you can just go download it because they want people to go get it. Mario Odyssey has released new costumes. You can now be an astronaut or a baseball player, along with all the other costumes that they recently released in the Balloon Kingdom update. There is a Life is Strange comic coming out. They're going to screw over Chloe some more, probably, because that's all that game wants to do. There is also Witcher 3 is still getting a PlayStation HDR patch. Still coming. Right, okay, there is still free stuff everywhere. Please check out Humble Bundle. Spec Ops The Line is free at the moment. It is a fantastic game you should play. Psychological. There's plenty of discounts going on at the minute in GTA. Red Faction Gorilla has a remaster coming out. You'll be able to blow shit up in 4K. And please, as with all things Valve is now coming out with a card game about their characters with Dota 2. They're trying to beat Hearthstone. Good night!